Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about clay court shoes and what are the differences and advantages of having a dedicated set versus just trying to use hard court shoes that claim to be dual surface shoes. Now, a few months ago I had a tournament on hard true, which is basically clay type court, and the opponent was hitting a lot of drop shots, very fine drop shots close to the net. So I found myself racing towards the net and having not only to try to reach the drop shot, but then having to stop short before hitting the net myself. Now I was playing on dual purpose hard court shoes and I felt very unsteady. It felt slippery. I basically had no confidence in my footwork because it just felt very unstable. Plus these courts weren't watered down and they were quite dusty and dry, and that didn't help my traction issues. So after not fully trusting my footwork and thinking about that during my match play, I kind of wondered if clay court dedicated shoes would be better. So I went on to research, and this is what I found. Now it's true that hard court shoes do have a herringbone pattern to the shoe for clay court surfaces, but are you being shorted the full potential of having a clay court shoe by using a hard court shoe that claims to do well on both? I say yes, because a hard court shoe will get a lot of wear and tear, and that herringbone pattern will wear out quick and be very shallow and even just totally worn. So when you go with your almost new hard court shoes to a clay court with a worn pattern, and if you go with a somewhat worn pattern onto a clay court, it's basically like having no pattern at all. And therefore you get the slippery feeling and unsure footing on clay court. Now a clay court shoe will have the full herringbone pattern across the full length of the sole from heel to toe, and it will be a much deeper groove because this is a more dedicated shoe, meaning they do not recommend you wear this outside of the clay court because it's a softer rubber compound, and plus the nature of the herringbone pattern, the shoe on a hard court will wear down very quickly, probably twice as fast as a hard court shoe. Now on clay court, the performance you're going to get is much better because with the full deep herringbone pattern, you're able to take off and stop quicker and with a sure footing that you won't even have to think about it during a match. And with a clay court shoe, you could have the opportunity to make those amazing clay court slides if you're able to do them, or if you want to learn how to do them, because as you slide sideways, the pattern itself lets clay slide on across the sole of the shoe and pass through rather than trying to stop you. Now if you want to stop and start, the pattern is designed in such a way that it gives you traction from the heel to the toe. Usually clay court shoes do not offer a 6-month sole guarantee because they typically do not wear as much on clay as they would on hard court. Some clay court shoes will have a real tight upper. Maybe they might feel a little on the stiff side because it has a tighter pattern to prevent excess clay from entering the shoe from a day out on the clay courts. As the first match I went into with my clay court shoes, traction wasn't on my mind, just concentrated on my game. I felt sure-footed, and that gives you a confident feeling on your footwork on a court like I have on hard courts, and now I have that same feeling on clay courts. So to me, if you play on clay court, even a few times a year, having a dedicated shoe that with the wear potential in these shoes, which is very low, it will last you a really long time. I figure I'm gonna change my hard court shoes probably 3 times before I have to change these clay court shoes, and maybe longer. So at the end of the day, in my opinion, having a dedicated clay court shoe is a key to stable footwork, and for me, I feel it gives me a competitive advantage against my opponent. And anytime I could get a competitive advantage just by replacing or maintaining gear, then that's a big plus for me. So if you like this video, please check out my other tennis reviews and match videos. Like and subscribe helps support the channel. And if you have any questions or comments, be sure to put them down below and I'll try to answer them as best I can. Thanks for watching. See you later.